We got two Hugh Jackman movies this year, and I think it's fairly safe to say they're on two completely separate ends of the genre spectrum. I'm John Hayeck, and welcome to my movie thoughts. The Greatest Showman. So this is a new movie starring Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, Michelle Williams, Zac Efron, Zendaya, and a few other people, and it's centered around P.T. Barnum's founding of the first circus that we came to know today, or I think it's closed in the past couple of years, the one that we came to know for many decades spanning its run. And basically what happens in this movie is it is a musical where we see Hugh Jackman playing P.T. Barnum, developing the circus, coming up with this idea, realizing what works and what doesn't, and ultimately persevering throughout the entire thing and being the passionate guy that really made his creativity come to fruition and ensure that it lived on for decades to come. And the overall thing that really worked about this movie was the performance of Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum. You felt like he was this motivated guy, he was driven, he wanted to make sure that his creativity really shone on the performances that he produced. He was a guy who was kind of down in his luck from an early age and wanted to make sure that whatever he did in life, he was happy while doing it, and he was somebody that was putting all of his fuel into doing said thing. He also wants to really make his family happy. Michelle Williams plays his wife. I almost said Rebecca Ferguson. That would be wrong. Michelle Williams plays his wife in the movie. She was really good as a foil to him. The two of them are living a very happy life together, and she supports him in all of his endeavors. I like seeing the two of them interact as well. They have two daughters in the movie, and their family dynamic I thought worked really well for the sake of this thing. Again, they motivated Jackman. I really liked seeing his journey and why he's doing it for them specifically. So great work to the entire family cast as well. I thought Zac Efron, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, all the other actors in the movie, they were really good. I didn't feel like they had much to do beyond surface level, though. Like, when you come to P.T. Barnum and the entire family, you understand kind of what they're going through, you understand their motivation, you understand how they all work. When it comes to other characters, like, they're good, their on-screen presence is felt, but they don't really feel like they're more than just, like, kind of one-note characters, or just kind of characters that serve one purpose and don't really do too much else, which is fine, because in a movie like this, you kind of want to keep the story going, you kind of want to focus on the musical numbers rather than too much story development or too much like this and that, but it still would have been nice to have a little bit more development with some of these characters who seem pretty interesting. Speaking of the music, though, the musical numbers is why you come to see this movie. They are incredible through and through. Every single time that there's a setup, the production of the musical numbers is felt. The sound editing is great in the actual music because it's all original music from the guy that did the music for La La Land. The numbers are choreographed super well, and I thought they were all impactful. My favorite one is probably A Million Dreams, which is the one you see at the kind of beginning of the movie, first 10-15 minutes, where Hugh Jackman and Michelle Williams are kind of falling in love. I thought that one was great, but This Is Me was amazing. I loved so many of the numbers in this movie, and I'll probably be listening to the soundtrack on Spotify for weeks to come after this. I thought it was all catchy music. My other problem with the movie, though, is that I did feel like the story in between the music kind of sequences wasn't 100% fully fleshed out. I mean, I thought the story was there, it was fine, but I feel like there was so much rich historical background to this, it didn't feel like it was a biopic per se. It just felt like it was kind of a musical where it was focused on P.T. Barnum, but it was really about the music, and you're like, alright, that's fine, because P.T. Barnum, like, the circus wasn't about him, it was about the performance, it was about the spectacle, but in a movie about P.T. Barnum and about the founding of the circus, you kind of wanted to see more about the founding of the circus, more about P.T. Barnum. You wanted that family aspect to be kind of highlighted even more so, his motivation to be highlighted even more so, and again, when I said that's the best part of the movie, I just wish we had more of it. So ultimately, guys, I do think The Greatest Showman is a pretty decent movie. I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag, though. The family dynamic between Jackman and Michelle Williams and their daughters was really good. I loved all of the musical numbers, but I thought some of the characters didn't really have a huge chance to shine. I thought some subplots kind of didn't need to be there at all, and overall, I thought it was an okay movie that I think could have wound up being great if a little bit more care and effort was put into the script development. So guys, I'm going to give The Greatest Showman a B-. Overall, I think the pros do outweigh the cons in this situation, and I'd say give Greatest Showman a shot. Be sure to let me know all of your guys' thoughts on The Greatest Showman in the comment section down below. You guys can follow me on Twitter at JohnMHayeck. Go over to mymoviethoughts.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel for tons more posts from me. The links to all three of those are in the description down below. You guys can also like this video, comment on it, share on this with friends. I am John Hayeck, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.